Hey, sup, how's it going? Today I want to try a Stardew Valley challenge that's been brewing in the back of my mind. I got the idea while watching a different brand new Stardew Valley challenge from a channel called Fungus, who I'll link in the description. The Fungus is doing a Stardew Valley challenge where he is tile locked, so he has to buy tiles to be able to move around the game. And while watching it, that's how I got the idea to do a one skill at a time challenge. Now I know that there's at least 2 other people who have done a similar challenge as me, but the way that they've been doing it is not like how I plan on doing it, which is going to be a bit harder, but I also hope a bit more fun and interesting to do. I'm going to be taking one skill and leveling it up to max. And then once that is maxed, I move on to the next skill, and the next, and so on. But the rules that I'm going to be following by are going to be, I have to choose my first skill the very first day that we start the game. Once that skill is maxed out, I move on to the next one. But that skill that is maxed out does not mean that I can continue to use it. Once I start on a new skill, that skill becomes locked out again. Until all of my skills are maxed, I can't use multiple skills. Once my skills are maxed, I might continue to do the same thing but with mastery, but it is not a goal to reach mastery with every skill. Other rules that I plan on using are going to be, I can only make money using the current skill that I am leveling. I can only make money from the single shipping chest that you start the game with. When every skill is maxed, I'll be able to use the different skills until I decide to go on to mastery. However, that's going to depend on how the game goes and how the challenge proceeds. As for my goals, I want to complete Joja's community benefit program for the town. I want to get married. I want to humiliate Lewis at every opportunity. I want to reach the bottom of the mines, and I want to befriend Sandy. The last one might seem a little weird compared to the other ones, but the reason I say that is because Sandy is probably going to be the most difficult of all the characters to befriend. Because she lives in the desert, until you get desert totems, you have to fix the bus, and then you have to pay 500 gold each time you want to visit the desert. And on top of that, much of the likes that I know she has all revolve around foraging, so unless we can save enough during our foraging run of the skill to befriend her, I think it's going to be a little bit of a challenge to befriend her based on how much money we're going to need to constantly visit her and all the items we're going to need to actually befriend her. I think this challenge is going to be interesting. I hope it's going to be fun, and it's going to be a different way to play the game. And I'm kind of looking forward to how it progresses. And I'm hoping that how this series turns out is allowing me to walk with the challenge so that others might pick it up and be able to run with it. As for the farm type, I've put in some thought about it, and none of the other farms really fit outside of the standard farm and the Four Corners farm. And I'm going to choose the Four Corners because it's a different style of farm compared to the standard that I think most people tend to choose, and it gives a little bit of variety for a little bit of everything. I also think it's going to be the most challenging out of the potential ones I could use to make it actually look good and feel cohesive, especially for that challenging aspect where the different sections of the corners are blocked off where you need upgraded tools to be able to quickly get to them. As for a character, we're going to go with the female, because as many people know by now, playing as a female character, you do get more gold to start with, and that's kind of something that we're going to need. Because we plan on going to Joja, we're going to need as much money as we can get, and because we can only make money off of the skill we are currently leveling, any free amount of money we can get is going to help us in the long term. At least I hope. I am more of a dog person, so out of the different dogs, I think we're going to go with this one. I think it's cute with the bandana, and I haven't really played much with this dog compared to the other ones. As for the name, her name is going to be Una. Her last name, in my opinion, should be Skillo. Of course, if you guys have a better last name for her, feel free to suggest it. Her farm name is going to be Tunnel Vision Farm, and her favorite thing is going to be skilling. Alright, so Stardew Valley has 5 skills, 2 of which are not available at the beginning of the game, fishing and combat. So we can't do those as our first skill to level up, which leaves foraging, mining, and farming. Farming I do not think is going to be a viable option because farm always starts off desecrated. There's weeds, there's items in the way. It's just not going to be a good way to level up when You have to move around stuff that you can't get rid of. And likewise, we're not going to be able to properly automate it with items such as sprinklers. So I think farming is not going to be the best way to do right now. However, mining and foraging, both of those are going to be good options. And out of the two, I think foraging is going to be the one we want. Because based on our goals, we're going to need to be able to save up a bunch of items so that our other skills that we're leveling up are going to be a little bit easier. And we're going to need storage crates for that. Foraging is how we get our early storage. Stone storage is going to be later in the game, and it's not something we're going to be able to hold on to or really hope for early on. So that means that the package that Lewis left us, we're just going to have to ignore. We don't want it taking up our inventory space right now. I am considering that cutting these out, since they don't really give experience to anything, I say it's fair game. If anything, you could call it foraging, since we're foraging for fiber and is a forage way to get seeds. Of course, we can't use those seeds, but I call it fair game personally. Now, there's a couple questions that I have to wonder, because I'm not the most knowledgeable about Stardew. I do like the game, but I can't tell you everything about it. And there are certain things that I want your guys' opinions on, such as potential marriage candidates. I think that there's a couple marriage candidates that we could go for. Leia might be the easiest since we're starting with foraging, and she likes a lot of the forageables. However, we could also go with someone who's completely out of left field and go with someone, say, like Haley or Maru. Or we could go with Sebastian, Sam, Harvey. It's really up to you guys on who you want. Do we want it to be an easy romanceable because of the rest of the challenges, or do we want it to also be hard as well? Should we go for someone who isn't going to be easy to get with how this challenge is going to be? Maybe we should just have a popularity contest and see who ultimately is voted as the most popular bachelor or bachelorette. Honestly, I'm fine with whoever we decide, at least for the most part. Kazuna here, she just wants love. She's been working that corporate grind for a long time, hasn't had time for her personal life, and now she's got all the time in the world. So I think we need to find her someone. Of course, that's going to be down the way, but still, thinking about it early on is going to help kind of gear us towards the goals that we need and the items we might need to figure out on how to acquire. I also want to make the farm actually look good by the end of this. I'm hoping when all the goals are reached, we'll actually have a farm that looks somewhat decent and respectable. I don't really have a plan on how I'm going to set it up. It'll just be something that I'll have to play around and see, which is going to make things even more difficult, considering by the fact that we're just not going to have the items to really mess up with the design. So we might have to just pick a design early on and do our best with it to make it look good. Because if once we stop leveling mining, we're not getting stone for any more stone paths. And if we need stone from other items, it's just gonna be a lose-lose situation, to be honest. I'm pretty sure we can. I know we can buy wood. I don't remember if we can buy stone anywhere. Robin might sell stone. If she does, that is an option. It's not a great option, but it's better than nothing. But that also comes up with another problem. We need to level up our tools as well. And we can't really do that when we're foraging. We can buy the ore from Clint. That's not a problem. The problem comes from how we plan on... Well, that kind of answers what I was just about to say. I was going to say the main problem is how we're going to get coal to be able to make different bars, because we can buy all the ore. How we're going to get coal, though, is a different problem, because to my knowledge, we can't just go to Clint or anyone else and buy coal for our gold. So how we're going to do it, it might just be pure random chance. I know that in one of my other saves, I had a tree get struck by lightning in a thunderstorm, and that had coal on it as if it was fruit. But I don't know if that's regular trees or fruit trees. I don't know how common it is for that to happen. All I know is that it's not going to be a reliable way to acquire coal. So if anyone does have suggestions on how we might be able to make this challenge a little easier, how we might be able to go about this challenge a bit better, or hell, if they think there's another rule that we could add to make the challenge more fun or interesting, I'm all ears. Please, I want you guys to engage. I want you guys to let me know what your thoughts are. I want you to know that I'm willing to listen and implement the ideas as they come in. It's entirely possible that when all the skills are maxed out, maybe we add a new goal where we have to master every skill by doing them one at a time. But the thing about mastering the skills is that when you go to master the skills, they're already one at a time anyways. So at that point, it just becomes a regular playthrough. The only exception would be that we can't use the other skills to, I guess, make money or really do anything. But at that point, how much fun is it going to be? Is it going to be interesting to watch? But if it's something that you guys decide you want to see when we get there, let me know, and we can certainly try to make it happen. Alright, and I'm thinking that we're probably going to have to make at least one chest for every skill. So I can't help but wonder how much wood we're going to need to keep and how much we can actually throw away. Let me ask you guys a question. Who is your guys' favorite romanceable character? Got another question for you guys. How would you guys feel if, in the new update that's coming, we're able to actually set a birthday for our characters so that our birthday is on the schedule as well, and say like our partner or certain townspeople will give you a gift? Because we spend so much time focusing on other people's birthdays to level up their friendship, but the only time that the player ever receives a gift from anyone outside of the occasional letters that they might send is the Christmas event. I think it would kind of be a little interesting to actually have the game recognize that the player has a birthday and that they want to celebrate it too. I mean, I think it would kind of give a few new interactions for... Correct me if I'm wrong, but was that an owl? Did my second night... Did I just get an owl? There's no way, right? I don't see anything, so I might have just been hearing things. Nope. I've never gotten an event this early before on the farm. Hell, my last playthrough of Stardew Valley, which I'm still working on outside of this, that's just my personal save, I don't think I got this until year 2. The fact that I just got this on the 3rd day, what is that luck? You can go there. I'm honestly at a loss for words. I don't think I've even, out of any of the ones that anyone that I've watched play Stardew Valley, I don't think I've ever seen anyone get a rare event like this on one of the very first days of the game. Like, I've seen people get rare events back to back, but normally that's been like halfway through the year. Who knows? Maybe this will be maybe that's good signs. Maybe that is a sign of good things to come. That we've already got the owl. Maybe we'll get more. Maybe this playthrough, this challenge won't actually be that difficult after all. Maybe it'll be just a nice, fun, easy challenge, right? Right? Please let me gaslight myself into thinking it's not going to be difficult. Sweet, the dog. Yes, I'll adopt the dog. So welcome to the farm, Skittles. I wanted to buy at least one ore from Clint to see if that gets me the furnace. You've got to be kidding me. There's no way, right? There's no way that I just got that a second time. There's absolutely no way. Okay, cool. So yeah, we did get it. Awesome. That is great. So now we can buy the ore from him to get the axe upgrade. Oh my god, it literally spawned right there. Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. You know that you know what? I'm going to bed. I'm just going to bed. I'm wasting a day. I don't care. That is insane. That with the final day of spring, I figured now would be a good time to go over our achievement and how far we've gone so far in this season. We have managed to acquire level 6 foraging, and as for our haul, we have almost 4 stacks of wood. We managed to get some bread from trash can. On top of that, Clint's trash can actually gave us 3 pieces of iron ore, which is really nice. And then this is how we're looking for our forageable items so far. And I'm thinking that we go ahead and sell all but the daffodils and dandelions, because I know that some people like them as gifts. So if we decide to befriend them, it's good to already have them and not kind of be SOL when we don't have anything to give them. On top of that, I think we can go ahead and spend the rest of this day just getting rid of some of the trees that are still on the farm. We also have managed to find Robin's axe, which we can go and give her today as well. We'll get a little bit of money from that. But otherwise, I think we're going pretty well in foraging. I thought it was going to take longer to reach level 6 foraging. I don't know how many stacks in total we're going to need of wood, but I know that I want to be able to make kegs when we have the ability. And kegs are going to take quite a bit of wood, because I'd like to farm up a bunch of fruit and put them in the keg to make wine, and that's going to be a big money maker. If we can get a seed maker, get an ancient seed, and then just start producing a bunch of ancient seeds to throw in kegs, we're going to make a lot of money, and I think that's how we're going to get through the Joja part of this. But our other goals, we still need to figure out who the marriage candidate is. We don't know who to start befriending, who to start gifting to, or trying to figure ways to get their gifts that they're going to like. And as you've probably also picked up, I did go to the egg hunt festival. Unfortunately, I forgot to press record, so I didn't get the chance to record that. But, you know, these things happen. There you go, Robin. And with that, we got another 250. Okay, that's actually a lot more than I thought we were going to get. I think that actually gives us enough to go get the Joja membership. Yes, it does. We're going to be virtually broke afterwards. What the? It can be difficult to get into the sport for a beginner. So I figured I'd give you a few points. Maybe it'll help you develop your scene. I've never actually seen this cutscene before. So they won't hold the Willie. Okay. I wanted to give you this. It's called a training rod. It should make catching fish a lot easier. Just be aware that you'll only be able to catch basic fish with this, but it's a great way to develop your skills early on. What? I hope you'll give fishing another try once you get the hang of it. You'll be having a great time. Good luck out there. Willie! Dang. Oh, this is why I like Willie, but I did not know this was a thing. I didn't know. What counts as basic fish? I don't actually know what. That's actually really cool. Thank you, Willie. Am I the only one who didn't know that was a cutscene, or that he even gave you a training rod if you didn't fish that much? Because I think most people will fish at some point between when they get the rod and the start of summer. So the fact that I don't know how many people would actually see that cutscene. Morris, I'm here to sign my life away again. Yep. Yeah, I'll take it. If you go to the community center, we'll become Joja, bro. Yep. Come back tomorrow and see about starting on some community development projects. Oh, and don't forget your wallet. Now let me call Mayor Lewis and see about getting that nasty old... Thanks, Morris. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the first episode of the solo skilling challenge. It's my first time making content like this with the intent for others to actually see it, and I had a lot of fun playing the game this way. It would mean a lot to me if you'd give me feedback about the video and subscribe for the future episodes. I have several ideas I want to work on that you hopefully will enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you all next time. I hope you all have a fantastic day.